We all know insurance companies do indeed investigate some of their clients' claims. There is no real huge secret in that fact. But there are some secrets, if you will, that surround when, where, and why insurance companies conduct investigations and what the role of a private investigator is when they're involved in these investigations. Private investigators, PIs, play a critical role in insurance, mainly providing their services to insurance companies for assurance purposes. In other words, PIs are crucial in resolving insurance claims and mitigating potential fraudulent activities. When an insurance claim is first filed, especially those involving large amounts of monetary compensation, insurance companies will often hire private investigators to provide an unbiased view of the situation. The PI's task is to examine the legitimacy of the claim. This involves looking into specific details surrounding the incident, acquiring evidence, and talking to witnesses or verifying information in the claim. And that can oftentimes mean they will employ specific investigative measures such as surveillance and background checks. Depending on the claim or the case, the private investigator may use different techniques, including surveillance to obtain video and/or photo evidence, conducting professional database searches, doing interviews and taking testimonials, analyzing documents, and more. Here is one thing we must keep in mind. Their goal isn't to deny legitimate claims, but to verify the validity of claims and help ensure that everyone involved is treated fairly. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. However, the role of private investigators in insurance cases can sometimes be misunderstood or perceived negatively. This negative perception is often due to their use of surveillance and other forms of investigation that may be viewed as spying. It is vitally important to note that their work is bound by strict legal and ethical frameworks. Their job is to gather facts, not to infringe on someone's personal privacy. They cannot break laws during their investigations, just like any other professional, and they must respect an individual's right to privacy. While people sometimes may feel uncomfortable with the knowledge that an investigator has been looking into their claim, the overall purpose of the PI is to safeguard the fairness and integrity of the insurance process. This is to prevent fraud, which can impact everyone by inflating insurance premiums. They, the PIs, are there to ensure the legitimacy of insurance claims, prevent fraudulent activities, and guarantee a fair process, ensuring that honest claimants receive their due compensation and dishonest ones are held accountable. Spying and investigating, while sometimes used interchangeably, have distinct connotations and implications, particularly in terms of legality and ethics within the realm of private investigations. Investigation, as it pertains to the work of private investigators or PIs, is the practice of methodical and lawful gathering of facts, information, or evidence. For instance, when insurance companies employ PIs, it's their task to probe into aspects related to insurance claims. This may involve vetting the claimant's information, conducting surveillance, interviewing witnesses, analyzing documents, and more. It's important to note that all these actions conform to established legal boundaries and ethical guidelines. The professional standards that govern private investigators dictate they must operate within the confines of the law in their jurisdiction. For instance, they cannot trespass on private property without permission, use illegal methods to gain information, or misrepresent themselves to extract information. In conducting their duties, they must also respect the right to privacy of the individual under investigation. Spying, on the other hand, carries a negative connotation and is commonly associated with illegal or unethical activities. It commonly refers to invasions of privacy, such as breaking into someone's home, hacking into personal accounts or systems, or other actions that infringe on a person's rights. Any investigation that veers off the legal path and into this territory can be considered spying. Now, when we talk about surveillance, it becomes legal when it is done in public spaces where there's no reasonable expectation of privacy. For instance, observing a claimant moving around in open public spaces to confirm or refute a claim is considered legal. However, taking that surveillance into private spaces without consent, secretly recording private conversations without permission, or engaging in any form of harassment can be viewed as spying, which is illegal. Have you ever been accused of spying while conducting an investigation? Let me know in the comments down below. Or if you think you have been spied on, let me know that too. As a private investigator, maintaining client confidentiality is a must-do part of your work. It is crucial that you understand that any information obtained during your investigations should only be shared with the individual or organization that has hired you. Breaching this is not just unprofessional, but may also lead to legal consequences. As a professional private investigator, you also must respect privacy laws in your investigations. This is a crucial component of working as a private investigator. To function ethically and legally, you must understand and adhere to local, state, and national privacy laws. This includes laws regarding surveillance, recording conversations, trespassing, and yes, even cyber investigations, or what we call OSINT, or open source intelligence investigations. Engaging in ethical conduct during insurance investigations is of paramount importance. You must be able to ensure you maintain credibility. Insurance firms, and by extension their investigators, have a vested interest in preserving credibility as it directly impacts the trust their clients place in them. Ethical conduct ensures that investigations are carried out in a transparent, fair, and trustworthy manner, thereby bolstering a firm's professional reputation. Ethical misconduct in investigations can lead to serious legal consequences for both the insurance company and you, the investigator. Insurance investigators have a responsibility to adhere to federal, state, and local laws. Defying these could result in severe punishments, including fines, lawsuits, and even potential imprisonment or jail time. Unethical behavior such as deception, bias, or tampering with evidence can unjustly skew the result of an investigation in favor of or against the claimant or the subject. Proper ethical conduct ensures that all parties involved receive fair and impartial treatment, which is crucial to the objective nature of investigative work. To maintain professionalism and trust during insurance investigations, here are some recommended best practices. An investigator should approach every case without preconceptions. Regardless of personal feelings, it's important to remain impartial and let the facts guide the investigation. Investigators should always be open and transparent with the involved parties, keeping them informed about the investigation's progress within the bounds of confidentiality and legal rules. Investigators must unequivocally adhere to all applicable laws and regulations, even going as far as familiarizing themselves with new legislation or regulation updates to ensure compliance. Regular training and professional development programs can help investigators stay abreast of the evolving landscape of ethics and law in their field. This ensures they are equipped with the knowledge to handle complex ethical dilemmas. Investigators should respect the privacy of all parties involved and handle sensitive data with discretion. They should use confidential information solely for the purpose of their investigation. By adhering to these practices, private investigators not only uphold their personal integrity, but also contribute to the overall ethical standing and reputation of the profession. So when and why might an insurance company want a surveillance investigation conducted? Surveillance in insurance investigations is predominantly used in claims related to workers' compensation, personal injuries, property damages, and health or life insurance. Whenever an insurance company has doubts about the validity or the severity of a claim, they may employ surveillance as a means to verify or refute the assertions of the claim. Surveillance is typically justified under the following situations. If the information provided by the claimant is inconsistent or contradictory in different reports or statements, an insurer may utilize surveillance to ascertain the truth. If there are unusual circumstances or behaviors around a claim, for example, a reported injury occurring just before a policy ends, or an overly eager claimant willing to settle at the first offer. If a claimant has a history of filing frequent insurance claims, it may trigger scrutiny from insurers. Occasionally, insurers receive anonymous tips suggesting potentially fraudulent activities, prompting a surveillance investigation. If a claim may result in a substantial payout, insurance companies often validate the legitimacy of the claim through surveillance to avoid potential fraud. Different types of surveillance methods exist as well, and the chosen method depends on the specifics of the claim in question. Here are a few examples. Physical surveillance. This might be the most common type, where a private investigator follows the insured person and records their activities. The aim is to see if they are partaking in activities that contradict their claims, such as someone claiming severe back injuries but then seen lifting heavy objects. In our digital age, investigators often check the claimant's social media profiles and internet activities. People often share details of their lives online that can potentially contradict the assertions in their claim. Investigators might speak with the claimant's family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, people like that, to unearth details regarding the claim, the claimant, or other things of interest. Oftentimes, a PI will conduct a background check, which is critical to understand the claimant's history better, uncover previous claims, and identify any potential patterns of insurance fraud. This could also include checks on medical history. With the advent of big data, insurance companies also have the capability to analyze vast amounts of data rapidly to identify patterns and anomalies that could indicate fraudulent activity. Surveillance in insurance investigations is a vital tool for combating fraud, preventing unwarranted payouts, and maintaining the integrity of the insurance system. Is it spying or investigating? Well, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Really quick, let me send a huge shout out to my channel premium supporters out there. Eric Hutchinson, thank you, my friend, for your 22 months of support. And Eric Lewis, thank you for your dedicated 1 year, yes, 12 months of support. I really do appreciate it. Now, come here. Check this out. If you want more great PI training, then check out this video.